Okay. So last class we are discussing about so many problems in your DFA. So today also I'm going to concentrate on some important problems in constructing a DFA. Okay. So let us just recollect some basics before getting into the problem. Okay. So we'll discuss about what is a language and what is a string, like that. Okay. So let us start with that. So we were discussing about terms like alphabet, string, and then a language, and then epsilon, and state transition diagrams, transition table, del, transition function, all these things we discussed. So I'm just going to refresh some of the things. Okay. So we saw that alphabet is denoted by your sigma, and you can have some symbols. For example, if I'm giving sigma is equal to 0 and 1, it means that your alphabet is 0 and 1. Alphabet is your set of all symbols. Okay. And strings is those combinations you derive, that is, with your alphabet you can form your strings. A sequence of symbols in your alphabet, it is called as a string. For example, if I am telling 001, it is a string. 100, it is a string. Or if my alphabet has symbols like a comma b, then your strings might be aab or ab or abb, like that. Okay. So combination of symbols in your alphabet, they are called as strings. And when you are taking collection of strings, we can call them as a language. Once again, you can combine it, you can compare with your English language or Tamil language. Okay. So your alphabets, some combination of your alphabets, it becomes strings, and some set of strings, they become the language. So in TOC we are going to discuss languages like languages for strings beginning with 0 or ending with 0 or even length, or strings with strings that has a substring AB, like that. Okay. So your language will have some specific notation, or even I can tell like language for set of all strings of the belonging to the alphabet, sigma is equal to 0 comma 1. It means that it is all possible combinations of 0 and 1. So your if you are defining a set of strings, we can write it in terms of a language. Okay. So language is the statement of English like description of your language you can give. Okay. So then what are the other things we discussed? We saw how to find out the number of states also. When you are designing a DFA, how to find the number of states, that we saw. And then we saw differentiation of your NFA and DFA. Okay, so there are two types of your automata, NFA and DFA. And the difference we saw that your NFA is more relaxed and your DFA has some constraint. Okay. So in NFA, it is not a must that you should have all the edges. Okay. But in a DFA, in every input, for every input alphabet or for every symbol in your alphabet, you must have exactly one outgoing edge from every state. Okay. So every state must have exactly one outgoing transition for every input alphabet. That is your DFA. Whereas in your NFA, that is you have a definition that your NFA may or may not have transitions. So your NFA may have 0, 1 or more transitions for an input alphabet out of a state. That is the definition of your NFA. Okay. So your NFA may have an outgoing edge for A, or it may have an outgoing edge, it may have 2 or 3 outgoing edges for the same symbol A. Okay. If your symbol is A, input symbol is A, you may have transition or you may not have transition, or in case you may also have 2 or more transitions also out of a state. That is your NFA. But whereas in your DFA, you will have exactly one outgoing transition for every input alphabet. Okay. You must have, you can define like that. Your DFA must have exactly one outgoing transition for every input alphabet from every state. That is the definition of your DFA. Okay. And we saw that epsilon edges, they are not at all allowed in DFA, but epsilon edges may come in your NFA. That is the definitions about your NFA and DFA. So last class we are discussing problems like this. That is problems about DFA for strings beginning with 01, beginning with 101, and ending with. So some problems we design for strings ending with, and some problems we design for substring. So in 3 cases, I gave you some hint. So this is not the only 3 cases. To start with, we started with these 3 cases. It's not. So for beginning with, we used a hint. So if my strings begin with 0, 1, I will take a straight path and I'll go to accepting state. What if the string does not begin with a 0, or if it does not begin with a 0, 1, what we will do? Prasad, can you answer? If my string does not begin with 0, 1, what is the hint? In what way we have to design a DFA? Yes. What is the hint in your beginning with strings problem? If the string does not begin with a 0, 1, what I should do? Prasad?
Ma'am?
What we should do? What is the hint for problems for DFA beginning with?
Smallest possible string in the length.
Okay, you take the smallest possible string and identify the states. So for beginning with, if my string does not begin with a particular thing, I gave a hint. Do you remember? We used a state called trap state. Do you remember?
Yes,
We
ma'am.
used a state called trap state. Yes, that is the thing you have to answer. Okay, write in your notebook. So for strings beginning with, we use a trap state. Okay, so you can mute yourself. So for strings beginning with some sequence, we will be designing our DFA with a trap state. So if my string does not begin with the expected sequence, we'll direct this direct path to the trap state so that it does not go to accepting. Okay, that is the hint. For problems beginning with, use the trap state to direct all the unwanted strings. For strings ending with, what we did, so I'll show you one example. For beginning with, what we saw, so for strings beginning with 0, 1, what we did, we took the smallest possible string 0, 1, we identified the states. So after this condition is satisfied, so after a 0, 1 comes, we can have any combination of zeros and ones. That's why in the accepting state, we had a self loop. Okay, so after a 0, 1 is read, you can have all combinations of zeros and ones in your accepting state. Okay, and what if if an input like 101 or strings beginning with 1 is given as input? Okay, so if a string beginning with 1 is given as input, we are going to use a trap state, and if a string begins with 1, I'll go to that trap state. And also if the strings begin with 0, 0 also. Okay, so a problem given is your strings must begin with 0, 1, but if it begins with 0, 0, that particular sequence also we are going to direct it to a trap state. Okay, so Q0 is the state that has not read anything. It is the initial state, and Q1 is the state which has already read 0. Okay, so each and every state has a particular purpose, I told you. Okay, so that state has already read a 0. So after reading the first 0, if another 1 comes, we can go to accepting state. But if another 0 comes as the second symbol, we must not go to accepting state. For that only we are using this trap state. So once we are reaching a trap state, we must not go anywhere else. Trap state is a non-accepting state. Okay, so whatever comes after this, after reading a 0, 0 or after reading a 1, you have to remain in your trap state. Okay, so that's why for strings beginning with sequence, we are going to use a trap state. There won't be any possibility to reach your accepting state from your trap state. Okay, it is trapped. Okay, so this is the logic we saw in our beginning with. I'm just refreshing those who forgot things, you can recollect. Okay, and for strings beginning with 101, I'm not going to discuss now. Already we discussed in the last class. Strings ending with 0, 0, 0. So this also last class we saw. Okay, for ending with 0, 0, 0 also we saw that to identify the states, you're going to take the smallest possible string, that is 3 zeros. So 3 zeros means you'll have 4 states. Okay, if your number of symbols in your string is 3, you're going to use 4 states. Okay, from initial state to accepting. So for reading, after reading each and every 0, you move on to the next state and reach the accepting state. And for ending with string, the logic is we'll be coming back. That is, for ending with 0, 0, 0, you need not bother about what is the starting. So in the beginning, you can have anything. In the beginning, you can have any number of ones. For that, we are using a self loop in Q0. And then you just see for the further other states in Q1, Q2, and Q3, what we are doing, if in between you are having some ones, we are going to go back to the initial state and wait for 3 zeros to come together. Okay, so when some in between, if some unnecessary symbol comes, we are going to go back to the earlier states and wait till the sequence comes. Okay, so that's why you have a loop like this. You are going from Q2 to Q0 or Q1 to Q0 or Q3 to Q0. Go back to your earlier states and wait till your 3 zeros comes or till a 0 comes. You're going to wait. Okay, so in Q3 you're making a self loop for 0, because in Q3 just imagine already I have read 3 zeros, and also even if I read further any number of zeros, you have this ending with 0 condition satisfied. Okay, this sequence problem is the strings must end with 0 that is satisfied, so you can wait in Q3 itself. Okay, so that is the logic in your ending with. So in substring what we saw, in ending with, this is one more thing where in the previous problem for all the ones we went to the initial state Q0, but in this problem ending with 0 1, what we did, for certain symbols we go to Q0, for certain symbols we go to Q1. Here also it depends on what has been read earlier. Okay, so Q2 has earlier read 1. Okay, so you have to remember that also. Okay, so already it has read 1. Now on reading a 0, if I'm once again going to Q1, this condition will be satisfied, ending with 0 1. Okay, so Q2 to Q1 you have a 0, and then on reading a 1 you can go to Q2. So it is also valid, is it not? So that's why we are moving on to Q1 here instead of going to Q0. You must not go to Q0. Okay, so from Q2 on giving a 0, we move to Q1 because this problem is strings ending with 0 1. So for 0 1 I can go to accepting state if I am going to Q1 itself. If I am going to Q0, it will be wrong. But in Q2 on reading a 1, I should go to the initial state because I need the pattern called 0 1 as the sequence. So if I'm going and waiting in Q1, I will not get 0 1. Okay, so to get 0 1, Q0 is the state which will wait for a 0. Okay, Q0 is a state which will wait for a 0 1 in your given sequence. So we have to go and wait in Q0. So in all these problems, you just see they're all DFAs, and in each and every state, you will have exactly one transition for every input alphabet. Okay, your input alphabet is your sigma. It is given as sigma is equal to 0 1. So in all the DFAs, you will have one outgoing edge for 0 and 1. Okay, you will have exactly one outgoing edge. So if any particular edge is missing, then it is not a DFA. It will become an NFA. Okay. And we also saw for strings beginning with substring. So substring is a combination of your beginning with ending and ending with. Okay, it will use the hints what I gave you for beginning with and ending with. So we'll also have a trap state like thing, and also we'll have loop back also. Okay, so for beginning with, for substring 101, what we'll do is, so initially till I read the first one, I will wait in the Q0. Okay, after reading a 1, we'll go to the next state. Okay, and then finally also after reading a 101, my substring is already read, so we can wait in your accepting state itself till whatever symbol it comes. Okay, so each and every diagram you have to imagine like I'm going to give a string as input at Q0. Okay, in your language you have so many strings, you pick any one string, for example the 4th string or 5th string, like that you pick a particular string and you have to imagine you're going to apply it in Q0. In Q0 on reading the symbols in your string one by one, how we are making a transition and how we are reaching the accepting state, like that you have to analyze. Okay, so this is a basic for your substring. So in the beginning you can have anything, in the end also you can have anything, and in between you must have your substring or subsequence 101. Okay, so in the beginning for 0 you have made a self loop, because for 1 you already have an outgoing edge, so you need not bother about your 1. If you are having a 0, you wait here. And similarly in Q1 for a 0 you are having an outgoing edge. For 1, what should I do? You have to think. So your substring is 101. So the next states I'm going to read a 0 1. So for the If I read a 1, I have to wait in the same state. Okay, you have to wait in the same state. Then you can achieve, you can go to your accepting state. Since if you are waiting in the same state, it means that here also you are reading a 1, 0, 1. There is a possibility to reach your accepting state. And in Q2, if you are reading a 1, you are moving here. If you are reading a 0, I cannot go and wait in Q1, because if I am going and waiting in Q1, there is a possibility that strings like 1, 0, 0, 1, it will be accepted. Okay, so you must not go there. When your pattern is broke, you go back to your initial state and wait till the sequence 101 comes. Okay, so whenever you are making an edge, you analyze with the possible strings. Okay, so already we discussed a lot about those problems, so I don't want to once again spend time there. That's why I quickly refresh things. So once again, you sit and analyze these diagrams. Why this edge is going there, like that. Okay. So today we are going to discuss about another problem. This is a very important problem. DFA to accept the language L is equal to W, where W has both an even number of zeros and an even number of ones. So your string has even number of zeros and even number of one. You can write down the language. Write down the problem and write down the language. So I'll once again read out the language. Your language L is equal to W, such that W has both an even number of zeros and even number of ones. So if you are picking out a string and checking out the number of zeros and number of ones in your string, it would be an even length. Okay, you will have either 4 zeros and 2 ones. So you have to count the number of zeros and number of ones. Okay, so the number of zeros also should be even, number of ones also should be even. But they can be anywhere, they can be mixed. It's not a must that initially you must have 0 and at the end you must have a 1, like that. You can have your zeros and ones in any place, but put together when you are counting the number of zeros and ones, it should be even. You just analyze all these strings. I'll take the first string. Okay, 0, 0. You have 2 zeros and count the number of ones. Do you have any ones here? No, is it not? You don't have any ones. So when I'm talking about even, what are all the even numbers? Already we discussed about this even numbers. What are all the even numbers? Answer in the chat box. When I'm telling even number, what are all the even numbers? Can you say chat box? Shaktivel, you tell me what are all even numbers? Shaktivel. Shaktivel, unmute yourself and answer. What are even numbers? Yes. What are all even numbers? Even number na enna example சொல்லுங்க பாப்போம்.
Even number na enna சொல்லுமா
even number na enna? Even number na even number க்கு example கொடுங்க. Example இல்ல. TOC ல even number na enna யோசிக்கணும்?
Even number 2 4 6.
Okay. 2 4 6 8 வேற ஏதாவது இருக்கா?
வேற
ஒரு டேர்ம் நீங்க மிஸ் பண்றீங்களே. 0ங்கிறது even number இல்லையா?
0 ma'am.
Yes. So 0 is also an even number. So yes, very good. அதுதான் எனக்கு வேணும். So 0 is also an even number. Very good. So in your chat box also you have replied many answers. Some of you have also given 2 4 6 8. Okay. So include that 0 also. That's what I want you all to remember. 0 is also an even number. Okay, 0 is also an even number. So that's why if you are taking a particular string, for example, you take the 4th or 5th string, you count the number of zeros and number of ones. For example, in this one, in your 5th string, I have 2 zeros and 4 ones. Okay, I have 2 zeros and 4 ones. In your 4th string, I have 2 zeros and 2 ones. In your first and second string, you just analyze. In the first string, I have 2 zeros and 0 ones. I have 2 zeros and 0 number of ones. Okay, then you just count the number of ones. You don't have any ones. It means that the count of number of ones is 0. 0 is also an even number. So this string is also a valid string. I have to accept this string also. So if you are designing a DFA, that DFA must accept strings like 0, 0. Okay, even if there are no ones, your DFA should accept that. Like that, we have to design a DFA. Okay, and similarly, if I am having 1, 1, let's take the second string. Second string is 1, 1. The number of ones is 2. The number of zeros is 0. It is also a possible string. It is also a valid string. Okay, 0 number of zeros. So it is also a valid string. This string also must be accepted by your DFA. Okay, so since we are going to construct a DFA, we have to analyze this one also. Okay, because we are going to decide the number of states and we are going to make the transitions. You are going to tell which is the initial state, which is the accepting state. So in that case, I have to design the DFA like my DFA should accept string like 1, 1. My DFA should accept strings like 0, 0. Okay, you must not miss these two terms. Even if there are no ones or no zeros, I should accept. Okay, other strings, I think there won't be any problem. Just counting the number of zeros and ones, it is very good. You can do. Yes, Palniappan has also given number mod 2 equal to 0. Okay, so that is a hint to find out which are all the possible, which are all these numbers divisible by 2. Okay. So you just remember we have to include 0 also in our count. Okay. So let us see how to identify this step, identify the number of states in your DFA. So read through this statement. Each state is used to remember whether the number of zeros seen so far is even or odd, and the number of ones seen so far is even or odd. Okay, so here each and every state is for that purpose. So each state should remember what is the number, whether it has already read even number of zeros or even number of ones, or whether it has read odd number of zeros or odd number of ones, like that. Each and every state should remember what it has already read. Okay, each state, once again, each state is going to represent a particular combination. So that combination I have written here. Okay, so first of all, you just analyze what are all the possible combinations that you can derive out of this zeros and ones and even and odd combinations. Okay, so the possible combinations are even number of zeros and even number of ones. Okay, so analyze this language or think yourself. When I'm having a string with some number of zeros and some number of ones, the possible combinations are you might have either even number of zeros and even number of ones, or even number of zeros and odd number of ones, or even number of ones and odd number of zeros, or odd number of zeros and odd number of ones. So these are the possible combinations when you're taking any string. Okay, so when you're taking any string out of your language, it falls under any one of these 4 categories. Okay, so these are the possible combinations. So when I have identified the possible combination, I'll give a state for that particular combination. Okay, so for each and every possibility, we are going to assign a state. So Q0 is going to be the state which is going to accept strings with even number of zeros and even number of ones. And Q1 is a state which is going to accept even number of zeros and odd number of ones. Q2 is the state which is going to accept even number of ones and odd number of zeros. Like that. Q3 is going to be the state which is going to accept odd number of zeros and odd number of ones. So like that, you are going to assign a state for every combination. Okay, so now let us see how to construct a DFA for this. Here also, I want you to remember that previously I gave you a hint that for even and odd combination, what we should do. Already we have constructed diagrams for this. For even and odd combination, what we did in the earlier classes, in the first few classes. If we want to accept even number of zeros, what we did a to and fro loop. We had 2 states and we had to and fro loop. Is it not? We went to another state and came back to the earlier state. So that is the hint. Okay, for this problem, for this types of problem where you have even and odd, there are 2 possibilities. Like how in the first class I told you the switch combination, on off switch. A switch can be in on or off state. Only these 2 combinations. Likewise, a number can be even or odd. So in these cases, you will have a to and fro loop. You jump to one state, come back to the other state, jump to other state, come back to the other state, like that. So your diagram is going to be like this, okay, for DFA. So Q0 is the state which is going to accept even number of zeros and even number of 1. You look at only Q1. You don't look at other states. You look at Q0 and Q1 alone. So Q1 is a state which is going to accept odd number of ones and even number of zeros. Okay. So in that case, when I have a 1, I go to Q1. Okay. So when I have another one, I come back to Q0. So in all these states, you just observe, you have a to and fro loop. Okay. So in Q0, on reading a 1, I go to Q1. On reading another one, I come back to Q0, so that the condition is maintained. For even number of ones, I come back to Q0. Okay. And for even number of zeros also, I have to be at Q0. So we are going to use a state called Q2 for that purpose. For 1, 0, I'll go to Q2. For another 0, I'll come back to Q0 itself. Okay. So analyze this state Q0 and Q2, Q0 and Q2. For 1, 0, for odd number of zeros, I'll go to Q2. For even number of 0, even length, I'll come back to Q0 itself. So this Q0, Q1 and Q2, if you are analyzing these 3 states, you can identify that we are maintaining the even combination in Q0. Okay. So you go back to another state, come back. Q0, Q1, Q0. Q0 and Q1, they maintain for even number of ones. And Q0, Q2, they maintain for this is, strings for containing zeros. Okay. And similarly, Q3. To identify what is this Q3, we already wrote the statement. Q3 is for odd number of zeros, odd number of ones. So from Q0, always you should start from Q0. Okay. From Q0, you imagine or you traverse the edges. So in Q0, on reading a 1, I go to Q1. On reading another 0, I go to Q3. So now what is the string you have read? It is 1, 0. Okay. From Q0, on reading a 1 followed by a 0, you have reached Q3. It means that it is for your odd number of ones and odd number of zeros. We are using this state Q3. And similarly, Q2. For Q2, it is your odd number of zeros and even number of ones. To maintain that even number of ones, we do this to and fro loop. From Q2 to Q3, we are giving a jump. Okay. On reading a 1, you go to Q3. Okay, and on reading a 1, you come back to Q2 once again. Okay. So once again, you analyze this diagram. So here I made Q0 as accepting state because our problem is your language L has both an even number of zeros and even number of ones. So if your problem has a statement like that, we'll make Q0 as the accepting state. Okay. So if my problem has problem is to design a DFA for set of all strings that has odd number of zeros and odd number of ones. Imagine the given problem is for designing a DFA with odd number of zeros and odd number of ones. I will just make Q3 as accepting state. Okay. So it depends on what is the language. Okay. If it is odd number of zeros and odd number of 1, just I'll make Q3 as accepting state. Otherwise, the diagram is going to be the same. Based on what is asked in your problem, we are going to mark the accepting state. Okay. So this is a very important question and very much expected and standard question. It is also discussed in your textbook. But in your university exams, what they do is they change the language. Okay. So sometimes they ask for even number of zeros and even number of ones. In that case, we have to mark Q0 as accepting state. Sometimes they ask you to design a DFA that accepts set of all strings with odd number of zeros and odd number of 1. In that case, you must not wonder that how should I solve this problem? We don't know like that. It is the same diagram, but change the accepting state alone. Okay, so at that time, your Q3 will be the accepting state. Okay, so read through the language. What is given? Your input alphabet is 0 and 1. And the possible combinations is even and odd. With that, you can form 4 possible combinations. So you'll have 4 states. And since it is even and odd combination, you will have a to and fro loop between the states. Okay. So just remember that and just practice this diagram once. You just have simple to and fro loop between states. Okay. I hope it is more understandable. Once again, you just practice whatever problem you are seeing today. You just practice. Okay. So for even, odd length, and 0 and 1, you are going to have 4 states and you're going to draw a diagram like this. Okay. So do you have any doubt, Vignesh? So do anybody have any doubt on this? So remember, for even and odd length, simply if you are given even number of 0 alone, you will be having only 2 states, like how we saw in the earlier problems in our first few classes. But if you are having both put together for 0 and 1, for both the symbols, if they are giving the condition even and odd, you have to go for this 4 states. So simply if you are given even number of zeros alone without any condition, for 1 they have not given any condition, means you can use simply 2 states. Okay. So for only one symbol, the even and odd combination is given, means you can use only 2 states. For both the symbols, if the constraint is placed for even or odd, you have to go for 4 states. Okay. So then this will be your transition table. So once you're asked to construct your DFA diagram, after constructing a DFA diagram, you have to draw the transition table also, and you have to prove the acceptability or prove the correctness of your diagram. You have to prove that my diagram is correct, like that, because these problems, they are asked in your part B question. Construct a DFA for set of all strings accepting the language, like that they will ask in your part B. In that case, you have to identify the number of states. You have to give a description, like how in the first slide we saw Q0 is for this purpose, Q1 is for this purpose. You have to give the state explanation. Then you have to construct your diagram, and then you have to construct your transition table, and then we have to prove that our diagram is correct. So how to prove whether a diagram is correct is, we are going to use our transition function. Okay, we are going to use our extended transition function to prove that the string is correct. So here you note down this diagram. I made Q0 as accepting state. So in the table also, Q0 will be both the initial and accepting state. You just note here, you have an arrow and a star. So arrow denotes Q0 is the initial state, and a star denotes Q0 is the accepting state also. If your problem is asked as for odd number of ones and odd number of zeros, if I'm making Q3 as accepting state, at that time your star will come here for Q3. Okay, so that is the only change you're going to do. Your accepting state, it decides which combination of strings you're going to accept. Okay, so to prove that this diagram is correct, we are going to use our transition function called del cap. Okay, to prove the acceptability of strings. So del cap of Q0 comma W. So in the last class also, I told you what is the difference between del and a del cap. Okay, so what is a del? Del is your transition function, and del cap is the extended transition function. And del, it takes 2 parameters. Del cap also takes 2 parameters. In both the case, you're going to give Q0 as the first parameter, and it depends on what is your second parameter. So in the case of a del, the second parameter is going to be an input symbol, for example 0 or 1 or A or B, like that. A single input symbol you are going to give as input in your del of Q0 comma 0 or del of Q0 comma 1, like that. If you are giving, it is your transition function. And what about your extended transition function? You will have a cap symbol above that. You will have 2 parameters. You will have Q0 followed by a string. Instead of a symbol, you will have a string in your second argument. String as your second argument. So I can write Q0 comma W. That's why we have written external transition function del cap as Q0 comma W. So in the initial state Q0, from the initial state Q0, on applying a string W. So W represents a string. In our theory of computation, the symbol W, it represents a string. String is a combination of your input alphabet. So if my string is W is equal to 110101, I'm going to apply that string in the initial state, and after traversing this particular string, if I'm able to reach the accepting state, then your string is accepted by your automata and our automata is correct. We have constructed the DFA correctly. Okay, So if it goes to a rejection state, okay, so if I'm giving a correct string, your automata should accept that. For example, if I'm giving strings with even number of zeros and even number of ones, your automata should accept that. If I'm giving odd number of zeros and even number of ones, my diagram should reject that. It should not go to accepting state. Okay, so then only the problem is correct. Okay, so only those strings it should accept. Only those strings that has even number of zeros and even number of ones, it must your DFA must accept. So that one we are going to check now. Okay, so W has, you just count the number of zeros and ones in your string W. You have 4 ones and 2 zeros. It means that this string must be accepted by your automata. Okay, this string must be accepted by your automata. Then only your whatever you designed is correct. So for that, we are going to use our extended transition function del cap of Q0 comma W. We are going to solve it step by step. We are going to derivation. We are going to derive a set of steps, and it should lead to accepting state. Okay, so you just write down del cap of Q0 comma W is equal to del cap of Q0 comma, you write what is W. W is, we have taken it as a sample string 110101, which would be accepted by your automata. We have taken a sample string. I hope all of you are having a notebook and writing. All of you must write the problems. You have to write and practice. So when you are submitting your assignment, I could see that some of you does not have the writing practice. You are copying from somebody else. So you don't understand. So you are missing out the edges. You don't know how to draw the accepting state. You don't know how to label the edges. So somewhere you're drawing the edge, somewhere you're drawing the loop, and somewhere you're writing the label. So like that, in few papers I could identify. Yes. So you must not do that. Regularly you have to write in your notebook. You listen the class and practice. Okay. Come back to the problem. So Q0 comma W return it as del cap of Q0 comma the W, the string we have written here. The string is 110101. So I have underlined the first one. It means that in Q0 we are going to apply this first symbol, and we are going to see where a transition goes. So in Q0, on giving a 1, you see a diagram and find out. In Q0, on reading a 1, we are going to Q1. Okay. So the next step of your derivation is going to be, you are going to write Q1 here. So Q0 comma 1 is Q1. You write that here. We have made a transition from Q0 to Q1 on reading an input symbol 1. Okay, the statement goes like this. In state Q0, on reading a 1, we have made a transition to state Q1. Okay, so other symbols you are going to write as such. Leave out the already read symbol. Already I read this one in the first step. You leave that. So once you have read this one and made a transition to Q1, leave that one and write the remaining symbols in your W. Okay, after reading the first symbol, you drop that first symbol and write the remaining symbols in your next step. Okay, so now what we are going to do, we are going to apply this transition in Q1 on reading a 1, where we are going. You just analyze from your diagram, find out from your diagram. In state Q1 on reading a 1, we go to Q0 once again. Okay, so your next transition is going to be del cap of Q0. Okay, so in state Q1 on reading a 1, our edge it goes to Q0. So write Q0 here and then write the remaining part of your W. So remaining part of your string is 0101. Write it here. Okay. So similarly, follow the other transitions. In Q0 on reading a 0, go and see in your diagram. In Q0 on reading a 0, we go to Q2. Okay. So the next step will be Q2 comma the remaining symbols. Okay, del cap of Q2 comma the remaining symbols is 101. So write it 101. So like that you traverse through. So now if you can understand, you just complete the remaining steps in your notebook. So each and every time what you're going to do, you're going to take the state and the first input symbol. You go and see in the diagram where it goes. And then write it in the next step. Leave out the remaining, that symbol and write the remaining part of the string in your next step. So Q2 comma 1 is Q3. from the diagram, you can identify Q2, 1 is Q3. The next step is Q3, write the remaining symbols 0, 1. And similarly, Q3, 0 is Q1. So Q1, 1. So you just see this step. At this step, I have removed the cap on your external transition function. In del, I have not used a cap. So when there is a single symbol as argument, we are not going to use a cap here. Okay. So when you are having a sequence of symbols, place a del cap. When you are having a single symbol as a second argument, use just del alone. It is enough. Okay. So del of Q1, 1 is, so Q1, 1 is Q0. So Q0 is your accepting state. So it means that your diagram, your DFA has accepted this particular string 110101. Okay. So we have constructed our DFA correctly. That is one way of identifying or checking the correctness of our DFA. Okay. So this is one way. You have to take two examples to prove the acceptability of your string. So one example is string with even number of zeros and even number of ones. You take one more possibility, 001, a string that does not fall into your constraint. Some even number of zeros and odd length of ones. So if you are applying the same steps, del cap of Q0, 001, you do the steps and you just write down what state you are getting, and it would be a non-accepting state. You can say that the string is rejected by your automata, and it should be rejected because that string is not having even number of zeros and even number of ones. Okay, if it has some any other combination, you are going to reject that. Okay, so that also you should prove. If you are asked in if your problem is asked in a 13 mark or 10 mark question. Okay, I hope you understand this. Okay, let's move on to our next problem. If you have completed this, read through this. An automated recognize strings with even number of zeros over the alphabet 0, 1. I think already we have solved this. You just analyze this problem. An automata to recognize strings with even number of zeros over the alphabet sigma is equal to 0, 1. And let it be a DFA. You constructed DFA. What shall we do? So for even number of zeros, so in the problem it is not given that you should have even number of ones or odd number of ones. So nothing is given about your ones. Okay, so only the information about zeros is given. So no condition is given for the number of ones. It means that you can have any number of ones. Okay, you can have any number of ones. It might be either even number or odd number. So for any number of ones, your automata should accept those strings. Okay, so the only condition given is your string must have even number of zeros. So you have to think about the ones also, because in your alphabet it is given 0 and 1. You have to think about the ones also, and since no condition is given, you can have any number of ones. Okay. So for this, what shall we do? How many states can we have? Do you have any idea how many states can we have? Even if it is wrong, no problem. You just give your suggestion. How many states can we have for this problem? It's 2 states. Yes, some of you are replying. It's 2 states. Yes, 2 states are enough. Okay, Sriram has given 3 states. Okay. Yes. So here nothing is given about your one. So it is only given as your 0 should be even number. So in that case, it is enough if you are having a 2 state. I told you, you must have a to and fro loop. You will have a to and fro looping structure. You from one state you go to another state, you come back to the same state. Okay, from one state you go to another state and come back. That's also 2 states are enough to represent even number of zeros and odd number of zeros. So the combination is even number of 0 and odd number of 0. That is the possible combination. So there are only 2 possibilities, even number of 0 or odd number of 0 alone. You are going to check in your automata. So in that case, your diagram will have 2 states. Okay, and you're going to mark transition like this. So Q0 is going to be the initial state. It's going to be the accepting state, because even if you don't have any zeros also, you're going to accept. Simply you see the first string in your L. In L, I've given the first string as 1. Okay, a string with just 1 or some number of ones. You don't have zeros at all. Okay, in that case also you should accept. So I made Q0 as accepting state. Even without any zeros also you should accept. Okay, and then that is 0 number of zeros you should accept, and then 1 0 you should not accept, and 2 zeros I should accept. So you have a to and fro loop. For odd number of zeros you go to Q1. For even number of zeros you come back to Q0. Okay. So what about the ones? So for zeros we have included transitions, but since we are constructing a DFA, there must also be an edge for 1. Okay, in Q0 also I must have an outgoing edge for 1. In Q1 also I must have an outgoing edge for 1. In that case, what shall we do? Since nothing is given about 1, a 1 can come in any place. Okay, a 1 can come at any place. So in that case, you just imagine where a 1 should be. So in both the state Q0 and Q1, you can have a 1. Okay, you just mark this diagram. You will have a self loop in both the places. Okay, so you'll have a self loop in both these states Q0 and Q1. You can have a 1 anywhere. Okay, you can have a 1 anywhere in between these number of zeros. That's why we're having a self loop in both these states. Okay. So we'll go for the next problem. This is a different type of problem. Okay, NFA that accepts exactly those strings that have a 1 in the second last position. NFA that accepts exactly those. Okay, NFA that accepts exactly those strings that have a 1 in the second last position. Can you write the language for this? Just read. So some problems will be like this. So all the problems will not be with beginning with ending with substring. Those are some techniques. And this is one more notation. Read the statement and try to write the language. NFA that accepts exactly those strings that have a 1 in the second last position. That have a 1 in the last position means, what can we write? For strings that have a 1 in the last position means it defines strings that ends with 1. Okay, strings that have a 1 in the last position abdina, strings ending with 1. Here we have strings that have a 1 in the second last position. Can you give me one example for such string? You can type it in the chat box. Strings that have a 1 in the second last position. Give one example. You need not write all the strings or language. Try to give some example that has a 1 in the second last position. Yes. Yes, very good. Yes, all the answers are correct. You'll have some number of zeros and ones somewhere, but when I'm checking out from the end of the string, so from the last position, when I'm checking from the right hand side, the second number, the second number should be a 1. Okay, then second last position, and then you have the second last position. So that number should be a 1. Okay, so that you should ensure. Okay, all the answers are correct, whatever you have given in your chat box. Okay. So similarly, some problems will be asked like from the 10th last position. Okay, so there will be a 1 in the 10th last position, or you'll have a B in the 10th last position. Like that also, so sometimes problems are asked. In that case also, you'll have to design. So once again, read through the question. So we are asked to construct an NFA, not a DFA. Now I am discussing about NFA. Okay. So DFA means you will worry about in every state I must have exactly one outgoing edge. Now these types of problems like one in the second last position, or in the 10th last position, or in the third last position, like that, for these problems usually they ask us to construct NFA. Okay, so in that case, now you are able to identify the possible strings. You have a 1 in the second last position. So possible strings you have given. I also given some examples here. So for this we have to construct a diagram. Here also, to decide the number of states, we take the smallest possible string. Okay, so the smallest possible string is going to be strings with 2 lengths, because the condition given here is you have to worry about what will be in the last position, what will be in the second last position. So other things you need not bother. Okay, you have to think about what is in the last position, what is in the second last position. Okay, so in the beginning you can have anything. Okay, so our string length, the minimum possible strings. Okay, so it's going to be the smallest possible string is going to be of string length 2. It might be either a 10 or 11. So watch out the first two strings, 10 and 11. In both the cases, you have a 1 in the second last position. What about the last position? The last position can be either a 0 or 1. Okay, the last position can be a 0 or 1. In the second last position, you must have a 1. That is the constraint given in your problem. Okay, that is the constraint given in your problem. And the smallest possible string is of length 2. Then the number of states is going to be, how many states can we have? We can have 3 states. Okay, so last position is 0 or 1, and the previous to last should be 1, and previous to 1. So before this one, you can have any number of zeros and ones. So your diagram is going to have 3 states, and the last position is going to take either a 0 or 1. So this edge you can name it as 1, 0. From B to C, you can give the edge label as 1 or 0. Okay, the last symbol can be either a 0 or 1. So you can give anything here. But the second last position, watch the transition from A to B, it must be a 1. Okay, from A to B, it must be a 1. Okay, and no other symbol there. And what about the beginning? So in the starting, you might have any combination of zeros and ones. Okay, so in A, you're having a self loop, and you have made it as 1, 0 for all combinations of zeros and ones. But when I'm having the second last symbol and the last symbol, we move on a transition from A to B and then to C. You just check out with any other strings like 4th or 5th string. I'll take this one. The 6th string will take, you have 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0. Okay, so till the second last symbol is reached, for whatever symbols it comes, 0, 0, 1, 0, we are going to remain in the first state itself, A itself. Then on reading this one, we are going to make a transition to B. Then on reading the last symbol, it might be a 0 or 1, we move on to the accepting state. So that's how we are going to traverse through your NFA. Once again, remember, whatever we have constructed now, it is an NFA. Okay, how can we say this is an NFA? In the beginning, for all combinations, we have made a self loop, is it not? So in an NFA, from state, for example, from state A, for input symbol 1, you are having 2 transitions. So from A to A, you are having 1 transition, and from A to B, you are having transition for the symbol 1. Okay, so for the transition for symbol 1, you are having 2 transitions. Okay, and in C also, we didn't bother about the possible transitions out of C. Okay, so C, 0 and C, 1, we are not defining here. Okay, so in NFA, it is enough that you are just embedding the necessary information into your diagram. Okay, it should accept strings of strings that have a 1 in the second last position. That those strings it should accept, that's all. You don't bother about whether all the states are having all possible transitions. That you need not bother in case of an NFA. Okay. This is your NFA diagram. And let us see one more type of problem. Constructing a finite automata for the language 0 power n, where n mod 3 equal to 0, n mod 3 equal to 2. This is also a very important question in university exam. So write down this language. So here also sometimes this problem they ask like n mod 3 equal to 2. Sometimes they ask like n mod 3 equal to 0. Okay, so based on this 0 or 1 or 2, we are going to design our DFA, or we are going to design our automata. So this is also a very important university question. This type of mod, n mod 3 or n mod 4, like that they will ask. So here we are going to apply the same logic as we did in our even number of 0 and even number of 1. In even number of 0 and even number of 1, what we did, we identified the possible combinations Q0, Q1, Q2 and Q3, 4 possibilities like that. Here also we are going to identify the possible states. So first let's write the language. So for n mod 3 equal to 0, what are all the possible values? First of all, let's analyze that. So if you're here 0 power n, it denotes n denotes the length of your string, the number of zeros. Okay, n denotes the number of zeros. For example, 0 power 2, if I am telling, it means that 2 zeros. Okay, 0 power 5 means it is 5 zeros, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, like that, 5 zeros. So the n denotes the number of zeros in your string, in your one string. Okay, so if I am having, so here the condition is n mod 3 equal to 2. So the number of zeros you have to count, and that count should be, when you are taking a mod 3, it should be 2. Can you give me some answer for this? N mod 3 equal to 2. What values we can get here? So for example, if you take 5 mod 3 is 2. Is it not? So 5 mod 3 is 2. Okay, just try to write the language for this. Okay, try to write the language. So can you give me some answers for this for n mod 3 equal to 2? What are the possible values for n? So you can apply values from 1 to 3 onwards. So 1 mod 3, if you are taking 1 mod 3, it's going to be 1. So mod is your reminder, is it not? So 1 mod 3 is 1. So that is not satisfied. 2 mod 3 is 2. Okay, so when you are dividing a number by 3, the remainder should be 2. Okay, so 3 mod 3 is 0. So I don't want that number. 4 mod 3 is 1. I don't want that number also. And 5 mod 3 is 2. So we can take that 5. Okay, and 6 mod 3 is 0. Okay, so when I'm taking this modulo operation, the possible reminders, you have to note down the possible reminders, because now our task is we have to identify the number of states. So to identify the number of states, we have to see the possible combination. You are given some answer, 14, 17. Okay, mod 3 if I'm taking. Okay, so 14, 17 are correct, but we have to start with the smallest possible numbers once again. Then only I can identify the states. Okay, so we take the smallest possible value. Okay, take from 1 onwards, from 1 to 3 onwards. If you are taking, I will get we can get simple values, because when you are telling n is 14, imagine your string is going to be a string length of 14, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, like that. You have to write 14 zeros. Okay, so now we are going to try to write the language. Your language is going to have only those strings that fall under this category. Can you guess the numbers now? So you just write down numbers sequentially, one by one. 8, 11 mod 3. So 11 mod 3 means 9 is divisible by 3. So remainder is 2. Okay. So all these answers are correct. You must have a remainder 2. That's all. Okay. So once again, start with the smallest possible. Whether 2 mod 3 is 2 or not. What is 2 mod 3? What is 1 mod 3? You just write in your notebook what is 0. We can write like write in your notebook what is 0 mod 3. What is 0 mod 3, 1 mod 3, 2 mod 3, 3 mod 3, 4 mod 3, 5 mod 3, like that. You write in your notebook and tell me the numbers for these single digit numbers. You just first tell, then you can go for double digit numbers. Yes, 8. I want you to start from the, don't go for complicated sequence. I want only the smallest possible string. What is 0 mod 3? Tell me the answers for 0 mod 3, 1 mod 3, 2 mod 3. For these things, you tell me the answer. TOC is not such difficult. You don't go for complicated expressions and all. We need only the basics. Okay, 0 mod 3 is 0. Yes. So when you are dividing a number, what is the remainder you are thinking? Is it not? So when I am dividing 0 by 3, there is no quotient, and also the remainder is 0 in that case. And what about 1? 1 mod 3 is 1 mod 3 is 1 mod 3 is 1. 2 mod 3, we will just start with these values 0, 1, 2, 3. If my string length, I am thinking about the string length. If my string length is 0, string length is 1, string length is 2, what should I do? So 1 mod 3 is 1, 2 mod 3 is 2. Okay, 3 mod 3, line by line you can write 3 mod 3 is once again 0. 4 mod 3 is 1. Start write these values in your notebook. 0 mod 3, 1 mod 3, 2 mod 3, 3 mod 3, 4 mod 3. Yes. It's very good, Shalini, very good, and Priyadashini, very good. Okay, so you just analyze these things. Come to the basics. Okay, you make everything is very simple. Okay, so 1 mod 3 is 1, 2 mod 3 is 2, 3 mod 3 is 0. Once again, this is going to repeat. If you are writing it in a notebook, you can identify that So something you will have a repetition. The reminder is going to be 0, 1 and 2. Will you get reminder 3 anywhere? So 1 more 3, for example, 0 more 3 is 0, 1 more 3 is 1, 2 more 3 is 2, 3 more 3 is 0, 4 more 3 is 1, 5 more 3 is 2, once again 6 more 3 is 0. So what are the things you can observe here is, Sneha, 5 more 3 you have put as 0, 5 more 3 is 2. Yes, that is the reminders. If you are analyzing, you will always have the numbers 0, 1 and 2. When you are dividing a number by 3, always the remainder is going to be 0, 1 or 2. When you are dividing a number by 3, okay. Yes, when you are dividing a number by 3, the possible reminders are, we have to identify the possible reminders. You have only 3 possible reminders when I am dividing a number by 3. Okay, when I am dividing a number by 3, I will have only 3 possible reminders, 0, 1 or 2. Okay, so when you are having these 3 possibilities, these 3 possibilities will give you your states. Okay, you have to identify the possibilities, the number of possibilities. With this detail, you are going to identify the number of states. When you are having 3 possibilities, I am going to design an automata with 3 states. Okay, so you have possible reminders as 0, 1 and 2. So I am going to assign a state to remember this 0. I'm going to assign one more state to to remember the possibility of reminder 1, and another state to identify the reminder 2. Okay, for reminder 0, one state; for reminder 1, another state; and for reminder 2, another state. So our diagram is going to have 3 states. Okay, so that's how we are going to identify your number of states. So if my problem is with mod 3, my possible reminders of 0, 1 and 2. So we need 3 states to construct our automata. Okay, so these are the possible strings I have given, some few strings of length 2, 5, 8 and then 9, I think 9, and as you told the other answers 11, 14, all these. So they form your language. So these strings must be accepted by automata, and when I'm constructing an automata, I need the number of states. Even you can take this logic also. A smallest possible string is 2 zeros, so 3 states are enough. But when you're including edges, you have to think that each state is for a purpose. What is the purpose is, each and every state is going to represent the remainder. Q0 is going to represent the remainder 0. Q1 is going to represent the remainder 1. Q2 is going to represent the remainder 2 condition. Okay. So if you are dividing any number n mod 3 and applying mod 3, your remainder should be 2. So what are the conditions that be satisfied is, the numbers are 2, 5, 8, 11, 14. These numbers, they satisfy your constraint. And to identify your states, there are 3 possible reminders, 0, 1 and 2. And for each reminder, we are going to allot 1 state. Okay. So whatever I've shown here, we are going to allot allot 1 state for each condition. For Q0 is the state which is going to accept strings which will have reminder 0. Okay, it will have reminder 0. And Q1 is a state which will accept strings with reminder 1. And Q2 is a state which will accept strings with reminder 2. And our problem is n mod 3 equal to 2. Your reminder should be 2. Okay, so which will be the accepting state now? You will have 2, Q2 will be your accepting state. Okay. Okay. So Q2 will be our accepting state, because in our problem n mod 3 is defined as 2. So Q2 will be our accepting state. So since we are having 3 states here, I am going to make the diagram. Once again, I told you that the remainders are going to repeat 0, 1, 2, once again 0, 1, 2, once again 0, 1, 2, once again 0, 1, 2. As your number grows, as you are taking the next numbers, your reminders is going to repeat. Is it not? You have a repetition 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, like that it will repeat. So we are going to design a diagram like this. You'll be having 3 states. Okay, you'll be having 3 states. From Q0, I'm going to apply the strings, and with 3 states, you can form a triangle-like shape. It's going to repeat. So we are going to mark a looping structure like this. Like in your even number, what we did, even number, we had a to and fro loop. If not, similarly, the same logic, you will have 3 states here, but it's going to have a loop between these 3 states. Okay, you analyze in this way also. For even numbers, you can take like n mod 2. Okay, the even number problem can be represented using n mod 2, and the remainder is going to be either 0 or 1. Okay, in the earlier problems, even number problems, you can imagine like n mod 2, and n mod 2 is going to be 0 or 1. You will be iterating within that 2 states for a remainder 0 1 state and remainder 1 state. So now the problem is with mod 3. Mod 3 means we're dividing number by 3. The possible remainders are 0, 1, and 2. For each and every remainder, you assign 1 state, and you will have a repetition here. So you have a looping structure like this. So in Q0, on giving 1, 0, I go to Q1. It means that Q1 is a state which accepts set of all strings that will have a remainder 1. When I'm applying n mod 3, the remainder will be 1. Okay. And then Q2 will be the state which will accept strings which have the remainder 2. For example, for 2 zeros, I am reaching Q2. Once again, you loop back to Q0. For third 0, I go to Q0. For fourth 0, we go to Q1. And for fifth 0, we come back to Q2. So for 5 zeros, I'm at Q2, which is your n mod 3 equal to 2, which satisfies your n mod 3 equal to 2. 5 mod 3 is 2. And for 5, we have reached this Q2. Similarly, so then after that fifth 0, for 6, 7, 8, for 8 zeros, I'm once again at Q2. Okay, for 8 zeros, and then 9, 10, 11. For 11th 0, I'm at Q2. For 14th 0, I'll be at Q2. Okay, so Q2 is a state which is going to accept those strings that will have a remainder 2 when you are dividing it by 3. When you are applying n mod 3, your remainder is going to be 2. So that is represented by your Q2. Okay. Similarly, the same problem, if it is asked like 0 power n mod 3 equal to 0, what can we do? N mod 3 equal to 0 means which state can we mark as accepting state? If your problem given as n mod 3 equal to 0, if you are dividing a number by 3, remainder should be 0. So we have defined already Q0 is the state which is going to accept those strings with remainder 0. So in that case, we'll mark Q0 as accepting state. Okay. So based on what is given in this problem, n mod 3 equal to 0 or 2, we decide which is going to be accepting state. So for this problem, Q2 is going to be the accepting state because it accepts 2 zeros and then 5 zeros, 8 zeros, and then 11 zeros, 14 zeros. So those number of zeros, it's going to be accepting. Q2 is going to accept. Okay. Okay. Do you have any doubts here? We'll see one more. So far we're discussing about constructing DFA. So far we are constructing DFA or NFA. You'll be given the statement like thing. We were trying to write the language and we were constructing a DFA diagram. So I am going to now discuss about one more type of problem where you will be given a diagram. You will be given an automata and you will be asked to find out what language this automata accepts. Okay. So for example, you will be given a diagram like this. You will be given a DFA or NFA. Diagram will be given, an automata will be given. You have to identify what language this diagram accepts. So in that case, how can we do? You can write the set of all strings accepted by this diagram. From the initial state, you try to write the possible strings. You write L is equal to. Start from Q0 till you reach Q1. So in this problem, Q1 is the accepting state. You watch this, you have a double circle in Q1. The state is named as Q2. So from Q0, you apply the transitions and move to Q1. You find out what are all the possible strings you can generate. You write some 6 or 7 strings or 10 strings, you just write. Okay. or you analyze this diagram and find out what type of strings it will accept. Either some hint is, you can think like whether this diagram accepts strings beginning with a particular pattern or ending with a particular pattern. Or another way is you can think like whether it has even number of zeros or odd number of zeros, or you can think like whether the number of zeros is lesser than number of ones, like that. These are some possibilities how you can analyze a diagram. You have to count the number of zeros or count the number of ones, or you can see whether it is beginning with a particular pattern or ending with a particular pattern, or whether it is a substring, like that you can analyze. Okay, so diagram, how can we write the language? When you identify anything, it begins with the 1, and then on reading 0 and 1, we can go to accepting state. In between, having any number of zeros and ones, you are having a self loop. At the end also, some self loop. So how can we write the language? Substring with 0, 1, 1. So when you are writing a language, it should be applicable for all possible strings. Okay. So substring 001, if you are writing, or 011, simply with 01 it is accepting, but always I cannot say that this diagram will accept all strings with substring. Okay. So even without that substring also it will accept, is it not? So we cannot conclude that it will accept strings with 011. Okay, even without that string also it will accept simply for 01, or sequence is given here. Okay, so if you are easily able to identify that it has a beginning with or ending with, we can write. But this is one more notation. I'm showing you a different notation here. The language defined by the given DFA. This is your answer. Okay, so yes. Do you have any doubt? Somebody has unmuted. V.V. Priyadashniya. Ravi Shankar. So I hope all of you are sitting separately. This is your study time, is it not? You have to sit separately with the table, chair, and notebook, and pen and pencil. Wherever you are going, you just don't simply take your mobile phone and go. This is a study time. Okay, you have to sit separately. You have that habit. Okay, so this is one more notation I've given here. L is equal to some pattern I've given here. Okay, this is one more notation where you cannot clearly tell that it has a substring 01 or it begins with or ends with. If you're not able to tell correctly, we can use this notation also, where you have so many conditions here. Okay, so you can write like I have some m number of ones followed by 1 0, then all combinations of zeros and ones. So all combinations of zeros and ones can be represented by 0 or 1 the whole power n, and then followed by a single 1, and then all combinations of zeros and ones here, 0 or 1 power p, where m, n, and p are all positive integers. Okay, this is one more notation where we cannot clearly say that what is the pattern here, or I can say that this particular string, it will accept strings with at least 1 0 and at least 1 1, where the 0 comes before 1, like that we can give a statement. We can give a generic statement like that. That is, if you're giving a statement, it must be correct. Okay, I can write like it has at least 1 0 and at least 1 1, where 0 precedes 1, like that you can give a statement. Or you can write a statement like this, where you have for each and every transition you can define like this. In the beginning I have 1 power m, some number of ones. So why we are giving m, n, and p is we cannot say that m will be equal to n. You cannot use the same variable m in all the places. Okay, some of you might have a doubt, why can't we use m in all the places? For 0 power 1 also we can use m. For this 0 power 1 also we can use m. Why are we using 3 different variables like that? Okay, so why we are using 3 variables is this first the self loop in your first state, it might iterate for 2 times, but the self loop in Q2 it might iterate for some 8 times or 9 times, and self loop in Q1 might iterate for 0 times or 10 times or 11 times. So that we don't know. Okay, so how many times it's going to repeat, that it is not defined, or we cannot say well ahead for any number of times. Okay, so whenever you're having a self loop, it defines that any combination, any number of times. So since it is independent, both these self loops, self loop in Q2 and self loop in Q1, it is independent. They does not depend on each other, and they does not know how many times the earlier loop has iterated. So that's why we are giving different numbers here, different values for M, N, and P. Okay, so this is one notation of how to write a language for a diagram. Okay, so if you are given well-known diagrams like the even number of zeros and even number of one with a 4 circle, if you are given a diagram, easily you can identify this diagram. It will accept strings with even number of 0 and even number of 1. So that you can straight away write down the language. L is equal to, you can give some set of strings. You can write that it accepts set of all strings with even number of 0 and even number of 1. But for these problems like this, we can define a notation like this. L is equal to, you can raise to the powers. And I'll give you one more example. The same method you're going to follow. Find the language accepted by the DFA given below. So for this, can you tell me? Can you tell what is the language accepted by this automata? You have in Q0, you have a self loop with 0. In Q1, you have a self loop with 0. And in between, you're having a single 1. What type of languages will it accept? If you are telling in generic statement, you can tell that this language, it will accept set of all strings with exactly 1 1, with at least 1 1. Okay, where your input alphabet is 0, 1, your strings, your automata accepts set of all strings with at least 1 1. So whether the slide is visible, I'll come to the 11th problem. Veta says slide is not visible. So we are in the 11th problem. So it's not, a self loop. When I'm drawing a self loop, it means that it may or may not occur. So even without taking that self loop, you have to see the essential string alone. Okay, okay. So in Q0, I must take this one, is it not? But this 0 is optional. When I'm having a self loop, it is optional. I may or may not take that 0. Okay, but I have to take this one. I have to read through this one at least once to reach the accepting state. Okay, so in Q0, on reading a 1, I can go to accepting state. That will be the smallest possible string. So other strings, if you're analyzing, you'll have 1 0 and then 1, or 0 1 0, or 0 0 0 1 0. In all the cases, you will have exactly 1 1 in your string. You will have at least 1 1 with some number of zeros on either side of this one. That if you're giving a statement, you can write like that. Your strings must have exactly 1 1 with n number of zeros on the left side and m number of zeros on the right side. That will be your language. So I've given the language here. L is equal to 0 power m, 1, 0 power n, where m and n are positive integers. So you'll have some number of zeros in the beginning, then you'll have exactly 1 1, and then followed by some number of zeros once again. And this m and n may not be the same. You might have 2 zeros in the beginning and then 10 zeros in the end. So m and n will be different. Okay, in an automata, you cannot tell that the numbers can be same. It could be same also. You can have 2 zeros and 2 1s at the 2 zeros at the end, but it will not be always the same. Okay, you can have 2 zeros in the beginning and 5 zeros in the end. So that's why I have given here 2 different variables. Okay, can you understand this problem? So this is one more notation of defining your language. Okay, you can give a statement, or if you are given, you can also give variables like this to define the number of strings, number of symbols in your string. So you just write down this problem as homework problem. So use the above automata, that is previous automata, whatever I've given. So 0 power m, 1, 0 power n. For that, check whether the following strings are accepted or not. I've given 3 strings. For acceptability, you're going to use your extended transition function del. Okay, use the del extended transition function, and apply these 3 strings and find out whether the string is accepted or not. Okay. So I've given you one example where you applied your del cap and you derived your string, and you told that you reached the state Q0 and we told that string is accepted. For certain strings, the automata will not accept. In that case, you will end up with a non-accepting state. If you are ending up with a non-accepting state, you give a statement as the string is rejected. Okay, so that this problem, the second problem and third problem, it will be going to non-accepting state, I think. You have to write that the string is rejected by the automata like that. And this one consider DFA to recognize strings with even number of zeros and odd number of ones. This one also you take down. For these 2 problems, you try to draw the diagram and you take this as a homework problem and complete. Okay. So tomorrow also I'll give you some problems as homework. So put together, you can upload as assignment this week. So today also we have discussed very few problems, but it's all very important problems in your DFA. So in our next class, we'll be discussing about epsilon NFAs. Okay, you have something called as epsilon NFA in epsilon NFA. Apart from NFA and DFA, you have something called as epsilon NFA. So those things we are going to discuss tomorrow. Once again, you revise the problem for converting NFA to DFA. Okay, NFA to DFA conversion problem. So revise that once again, because the similar problem we are going to solve in your epsilon NFA also. There is one problem called as converting epsilon NFA to DFA. So that we will discuss in our next class. Okay. So probably try to complete your homework problem. Whatever I've displayed here today. Tomorrow I'll give you some more problems. Okay. So do you have any doubt?